A lead cabin crew will be having better perks. We have about 25 to 27 types of job on ground. There were no fuel buses coming with huge tankers for refueling the aircraft. They had a concept of something underground.
Hello everyone, welcome to Flyrad, India's first aviation portal. This is the start of our new series where we bring you exclusive interviews with industry experts. Joining us today is a true aviation catalyst, a veteran with 42 years of experience in military and civil aviation. From serving as a MCA artificer to mentoring future engineers, he has played a key role in shaping India's aerospace ecosystem. So guys, let's meet Mohammed Shueab Mujawar. Hello sir.
Hi.
It's our honor that you are here today. To begin, how did your journey in aviation start? And what led you to become the aviation catalyst you are today?
Thank you for the good question. My career started in the way 1985 with military aviation. The place was Ernakulam, where the basics of my aviation, ABCs, have been taught. And later on, we have been groomed by the Indian Navy to become a professional engineers to handle the sophisticated aircrafts. As a part of airframe and engine, a qualified engineer on helicopters, fighter aircrafts, and training pilots. Indeed, it was a very great experience joining Navy, I can say seeing the world. Our memories of Andaman and Nicobar Islands and making of the commissioning crew for the Port Blair Airport INS Utkrosh, which gave us immense knowledge, tasks, projects, and where I could be successfully doing, and later on coming back to Kochi for pilot training squadrons at Ernakulam. That was at Wellington Islands. Being as a aircraft engineer and a ground runner with highest qualification as a junior commissioned officer, I had a marvelous experience of my 15 years in the field of onboard ship and at base levels also. Journey was really a good one. And today what I am, those basics we have been taught in those how to become a gentleman and an officer in a hardcore training in terms of professional warfield exercises. Indeed, a good journey of my aviation as far as military is concerned, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Actually, as you told, after your service in military, you transitioned into civil aviation and later into teaching. What inspired that shift towards future educating aviation professionals?
Yeah, indeed, from the journey of 85 to 2000 from the military. In the year 2000, the aviation boom wasn't that much. And we didn't have many airlines in India. I think only Jet Airways, and there I could see the career in terms of engineers. Now see the engineering, what we see in the civil world. The aviation, the aircraft maintenance engineers have a different platform and a variety of subjects which are basically more onto the aerospace industry, the basics. So my career I started in the Hindustan Aviation Academy, where I was training the aircraft maintenance engineers to make their career growth, to choose as an aircraft AME, qualifying their DGCA exams, and getting into airlines, coming onto the OJTs. And I had a lot of students, those are still working for the Singapore Airlines, the Emirates, the Qatar Airways. And later on, I had to choose a career. I got an opportunity to work with the HAL Air India Joint Watching Group, where we were the third party providing services for the ground operations at the old airport of Bangalore, way back in 2006. And that experience taught us, yes, the boom has started for the aviation. We could see the Indigo coming at that time with the only single aircraft at Bangalore landing. It was really great to see like Air Dakchin popping up into this. We are just only focusing on what to do, how this engineering we had a focus. There was a big market open for ground staff, cabin crew, pilots, and we tried to further find out like what can we do. I got associated with few institutions, started training, understood the modules. As we knew the requirement of a cabin crew as a ground staff, we made out certain syllabuses and started training where I had an opportunity with Ascens learning. Then later on, one of the students had asked me, why don't we get a approved university grants commission organized some syllabus which would be helpful for graduates specialized in BBA aviation. That was 2016. I had just walked into the Bangalore University, met the dean. So I have one option. It took me about 30 minutes presentation, covering various subject modules, what was my vision and mission. As I have seen that, it really worked. 2008, when I started working with Air India SATS and the Singapore Airlines, after looking at the ground operations, it was really going deep into the technology what Bangalore airport was coming up. There were no fuel buses coming with huge tankers for refueling the aircraft. They had a concept of something underground. The baggage system were all with digitalized, with the Siemens company coming up with a venture with the automated system of baggage. The terminal building was been so refined and designed in such a way with the architectural way by seeing the quantum and the volume. We had about somewhere 400 aircrafts per day. Aircraft per day. But today I will tell you, Bangalore International Airport handles 860. That means every 2 minutes, one takeoff landing happens because we have the infrastructure. We came up with the other runway, the capacity issues. When I started working into this, then I thought of why don't I frame all this combined together, make a graduate who can go with the knowledge. Because if you see as an airport, we have about 25 to 27 types of job on ground. Let it be terminal building, the baggage system, the security system, the screening process, the customer service, the commercials like the ticketing, coming on to the boarding gate duties, the assistance what we have to provide, the documentation, the policy, the procedures, coming on to the ramp, the operational area, getting the aircraft ready within 25 minutes, offload the passengers, load the passengers, boarding, deboarding, offloading of baggages, cargo. The lot of authorities we could see like ICAO, the international organization, the IATA, what policy does it performs, like you have to follow this, being into an international airline. Then I thought, yes, let me put up into a nutshell and divide it into 6 semesters and project it. So this will be helpful for my students. Whatever the out of 27 job, depending on the skill and the requirement when the vacancy comes, our students should go at least half-baked so that airline can have ready to use in a short training or a capsule or a module on an OJT, because we don't know whether he's working for Boeing or an Airbus aircraft. I cannot teach only because the Airbus now the Boeing requirement has come. So we kept the subject as a general. And 2017, when Bangalore University started with the first syllabus and the first college, it was, I think this is the 7th batch which has been rolled out as a CBCS, NEP, and now the SCP which is coming. The syllabus patterns have been made, approved by the UGC norms. And the graduation, yes, in the civil industry, what was required, we tried to take the knowledge and sharing their thoughts and experience to frame out a better syllabus. So in the future, we could give a better aviation professional who can choose their career. Because the way the airlines are growing nowadays, we have open sky policies. Government has deregularizations. Now airports have been so modified, like Adani Group having about 6 airports now. When the public-private partnership, the challenges of the funds were not there, technology came into existence, there was no shortage of money, and we could see the way it is growing, and it is a surprise to know Delhi, Bangalore international airports, we have an average of 1 lakh passengers coming and going. The infrastructure matters a lot. The connectivity, greenfield airports. We all make our airports far away. The concepts, every angle was been taught, and the most important what we used to focus on to the students is the customer relationship management. Because unless customer is there, airline is there. Because he pays about 80% of his money, revenue generated for an airline company is from the passenger. Our ground staff people need skill, how to talk, listening skills, the confidence level, the standards, the communication, and how to handle the situations. Of course, it will take a period of time to know situation handling. The training modules are so beautifully made. This helps a lot. This is how, this was a big achievement for me in this civil aviation industry. I had a lot of opinions from the LinkedIn. I used to get connected with the people on the professional platform and asking them, comparing. And this journey, today, we are able to produce BBA graduates with aviation specialization.
So, sir, can you just brief us about more about your AME journey?
Yeah, in my AME journey, I can make it into two classifications. One as an AME, another one as an aviation management, how I involve. AME, I was qualified onto the defense organization where we work on the Official Secret Act. Our rules are different. Aircraft, technology, everything is same. Certain terminology used is different. See, the carrier as an engineer, we call it as an airworthiness officer. Airworthy, that machine should be worth suspending in the air and well maneuverable, either to climb, down, descend, turn, bank. There are various groups in that. We have electrical, we have A&P, airframe and power plants. Airframe looks after the entire structure and the body of the aircraft, the interiors and all. And engines, they are very specific, specialized onto the various types of engines used by the civil aircraft, let it be Rolls-Royces or a Pratt & Whitney or a GE company. They have been professionally taught in their curriculum about the technology, totally monitored and approved by DGCA, not by UGC. There's a difference here. It's not under even AICT also. This concept comes from the Director General Civil Aviation under the Ministry of Civil Aviation. They promulgate the syllabus and the pattern and conduct examination and certify, and they become the licensed AME. Further classifications are there depending on the work profile, like B1, B2, CAR 145, CAR 162, depending on the various levels of the job. As far as airport is concerned, yes, they do BAMEC course, basic aircraft maintenance engineering courses are there. After the AME, they are able to turn around a flight, have a general physical inspection, topping up, replacement, tire has gone bad, just replace, get it ready, back to the in air. Unless specific reported by the pilots, they do documentation. But their certifications, everything will be from DGCA. Course curriculum will be from the Director General Civil Aviation. And the student who's all of potential, like +2 science, they can take the career as an aircraft maintenance engineer in civil also. After completion, they'll go for about a 6 months on-job training. Then they will be picked up for, then they can choose it, like which type of aircraft he wants to go. Heavier aircraft, he wants to go for an American version like Boeing aircraft or an Airbus. Specializations they have. That is how they can make a career. It's a very good opportunity as an engineer.
So, as you know, Flyrad is focused on students and job seekers. According to you, is there a skill gap between what institution teach and what the industry needs? How can student bridge it?
Yeah, it's a very good question at the right time and the right platform and at the right company, I can say. As a student, it depends upon how the student grasps. If you are very good in learning, if you are very good in following up, few students need a platform to enhancing their skills. As you said when I was speaking to you before the interview, skill enhancements for the requirement to bridge up within the industry either a professional or a student who wants to make a career. It's a very good concept, particularly in aviation. They have qualified. Qualification doesn't work for job. Their skill in the profession. That comes through certain expertise, professional people, one-to-one counseling, taking up with certain small modules, analyzing and assessing the students, making them industry ready, get them onto the platform with a professional way. Certainly they can do it. There are various modules, the requirements in the industry. Let it be a flying crew, ground staff, AME, again specialized in the ground staff, the securities and the other requirements we have for the ticketing, the counter staff, ramp operations, cargo. That's also doing good nowadays. Logistic and air cargo management is quite good. Logistic and supply chain is also a good booming nowadays. We have seen so many delivery concepts are coming. They need a lot of immense knowledge in terms of inventory management, controlling, monitoring techniques. I think we can come up with a beautiful model where we can train professionals for a respective field and specialization.
So, sir, there are many options like cabin crew, ground staffing. But for students who can't afford pilot or engineering degrees, are there any alternative roles that still offer growth and travel?
Yeah, it's a very good question. One cannot afford. There are various schemes are there. Few institutions give scholarship. Few take as cadets. Few come through bank loans and all. In spite of that, they are not even up to that in a financial situation where they can afford, or there is a good openings at the airports, cargo, the logistic supply, a number of companies, the third parties are there, the custom, the duty-free shops, and the various ancillary industries are there. But coming to the aviation hardcore pertaining to airline or an airline service provider like Air India, SATS, Globe Ground India, the various companies are there. They provide services to the airlines. Airlines don't have majority of staff. Example, Emirates coming here, he takes services, pay and use. Everything is taken over by the Air India, SATS, the third party. They need professionals. Professional in the terms in the previous talk I was telling you, about 25 to 27 types of job. Per aircraft, we have an average of 40 people working around. We need skilled people. One is to handling of people, customer service. And even at the check-in counters and the ticketing counters, we need professional, young, those who have good communication, the confidence level at a younger age. Even few start their career with +2 as a cabin crew. Cabin crew doesn't have any criteria like you should be a graduate. On a +2 platform, there are certain jobs which can be taken over by the third party. It would be for their baggage screenings. Few companies are taking it. But airlines are specific onto the graduate level. So there is a good opportunity even for the students. They can make a career into the ground staff. Let it be on the ramp operations. Catering departments, there is a good scope and requirement. It's a quite big industry. The supply chain management, the cargo, the DHL has its own aircraft operating from Bangalore. 24 hours delivery starting. Nowadays, app we are seeing it. App itself tells us at what time they will reach. That is how the technology has come. To get them onto those platforms, there are certain small, minor, short module course based on the industry requirement. We get them ready, make out a career platform. Let it be screeners, let it be on the aircraft handling, load and trim, ramp operations, the cargo. There are certain special trainings also. There are international certifications on IATA. There are a lot of companies out there. We can propose them on the DGR, dangerous goods handling. Every goods cannot be handled into the aircraft like that. There are a lot of limitations, laws and regulations in the airline industry. So it's a good opportunity as a ground staff. Students can think other than AME or a pilot or a cabin crew. Airport ground staff duties are very huge in demand, I can say. And recently in Bangalore, we are planning for by 2033, we are coming up with a third airport. Today we don't have capacity. We see 2 aircraft flying here at the midnight. That is because we don't have capacity issue. Even if it lands, it doesn't have place. That is how the industry is growing. And now only the government has started proposing to come up with a third terminal. Mumbai is also coming up with one more airport, like the Navi Mumbai. The old airport we cannot handle. The way the industry is grooming, demand is there, need of professionals. We can focus on the institutions like companies like you who can bridge the gap and connect the people to the right skill for the right platform. They are placed in the right industry.
So, sir, everyone knows that pilot is a high-paid job. So, which is the other jobs which will be high-paid?
Yeah, the girls, I can say, they can make at a younger age career. They can work up to 10, 12 years because by 30 they want to settle. But in this 10, 12 years, they can make a very good career where they're hoping more than, if you go for a foreign airline, it is 1.8 lakhs. For Indian carrier, it starts from 60 to 90. Number of hours you fly more, you get more, depending on the sector and the airline. A good airline, average, you can take 1 lakh per month. The next comes is the air traffic controllers. They need an BE engineering graduate to become an air traffic controller, and their salary also starts from 1.2 to 1.5, including all the allowances. Then next comes the AMEs. Depending on the license and the type rating, pilots also same. It's not only a CPL holder. In a commercial, I can drive a two-wheeler license I have. No cop will catch me. But in aviation industry, if you are taken a license for a Boeing, you will fly that Boeing only. Type rating we call. So depending on the type rating, it varies. But not less than 6 lakh for a normal any airline I've seen. My brand airlines like Qatar and all, it goes up to 10 to 12 lakhs, depending on the type of aircraft. Crew also same, 1.5 to 3 lakhs there are. If it sees a senior cabin, lead cabin crew we call, on an international platform. For domestic, for India, we have seen up to 1.4 also.
Also, the CTC will change based on the experience, right?
Because here we call a supervisor takes care or a manager. There we don't call manager cabin crew. We call lead cabin crew. She will be the senior most. And we have a criteria. For every 50 passengers, one cabin crew is required. And one will be the senior most. She will be coordinating with the captain for all the behavior of the flight. Let it be in terms of normal operation or a situation arising in the cabin or an emergency situation. Every crew cannot contact. It's only the captain and the lead cabin crew. They, virtue of experience, they work. A lead cabin crew will be having better perks as an designated, appointed as a lead cabin crew, or a normal trainee cabin crew. Initially, they'll start. After about 50 hours of flying, they become a full-fledged cabin crew. They can go independently. So basically, it's a shadowing or an on-job training. That's why they undergo about 3 to 6 months of training by the airline. So they know their standards and they follow those conditions. Now coming to the ground staff, the CTC starts from 3.5 lakhs from a normal trainee. On a confirmation, it jumps up to 4 lakhs. Depending on the type of rating, like we have abstract training for aviation security. We have screeners training. Those are qualified seniors, only that person can clear that baggage. And without that person, in every shift, you should have those so many professionals. We have load and trim, maintaining balancing of the aircraft and the loading pattern so that the flight behavior is okay. Then we have DGR certifications for the handling of dangerous goods for cargo, which all is been loaded into the aircraft. Then we have other certifications pertaining to management, safety management system. SMS plays a very important role. And for the ticketing also, we have Abacus, Galileo, a specialized training. That is a software which has been used, which connects airlines globally, where all currency conversion, connecting of flights, time zone, everything. You can prepare a proper itinerary. So you can range from minimum, it starts from 3.5 lakhs. The trend now, yesterday I've seen Indigo is hyping the salaries up to 25%. It's good because it is making company is making good profit. Last quarter they are given 23,000 crores. It's quite big.
So from the training, they are getting paid.
Yeah, specialization. You're a master. Like a trainer, he will be paid better. Virtue of all experience, it will be accounted. The initial startup will be less. Once you become the OJT, your training has been finished, then you are a permanent employee. Depending on the appraisal, company follows certain procedures. Your appraisal has been happening once in 6 months. Your performance, your achievements, and what are the wonders you have done or some good rewards you have been got, you will get better paid. But it's a good place for making a career, aviation as a platform. We highly recommend to come up organizations who can at least open up those skills and ideas and give a platform so that they can make a wonderful journey.
So aviation is a good platform for
Of course,
future.
100%. There is no recession. You have seen the recession of IT after AI ML coming. AI ML cannot run the aircraft. It is to be individually handled. We need professionals. We need trained staff. And airlines need it. Service provider company needs it. Airports need it. Mainly. Various forms.
So, sir, as we spoken earlier, you have 42 years of experience. So, how has aviation evolved over the last 42 years, and where do you see it heading into the next 10 years?
42 years.